With the release of Grand Archive and Cosmic Storms, I've been so excited to actually get into it and talk about this. And given that it's a day later and given some time that I was able to play it, I just want to go over some of my favorite things being added or that was added to the game from these two DLCs. So the first thing I want to talk about is the new UI that we got from this DLC. And I know, it's a very small thing, and we're all gonna get to like the bigger stuff later on that I really like from this DLC. But the first thing I want to talk about what I did like is the new UI. I always love it when Paradox actually freshens up and give us a new UI because it makes the game look newer. And I also always love when the console version almost kind of mirrors the PC version, and it's how you can see it progressively gets closer and closer to the PC version. And I love how now we can actually see the galaxy size rather than just reading the text. It actually shows you what the galaxy is going to look like. Yes, it kind of looks more like cartoony, but you actually know what the galaxy size is going to look like. And I love how with the menu screen or the settings screen, where you actually select all the stuff, it freshens that up as well and gives a whole new feel from that as well. And we're actually able to, it makes it look more clean and clear, I guess. But yeah, that's mainly all I had to say about this part. So let's get to the actual main stuff that I want to get into. So let's talk about at least one half of the main two things that we're going to be talking about today, which is the Grand Archive and the Vivarium. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But with the Grand Archive and the Vivarium, you'll be able to mainly breed and store space fauna along with your relics and everything like that, where you can then transport them back into the Grand Archive and Vivarium to then be stored for research bonuses, society bonuses, unity, and all that good stuff. And it looks like as well we're getting 3 new origins from these 2 DLCs. We have Storm Chasers that we're getting, Treasure Hunters, and Primal Calling. Now with these 3 new origins, I'm just going to tell you guys a brief kind of overview of it. This is all kind of just a brief overview of this whole thing, so I'm not going to go in depth or actually talk about a lot of these game mechanics in depth or actually what they do. This is kind of just an overview of kind of like how they work, I guess you can say. Like at first we have Storm Chasers, which mainly is Storm Chaser. If you choose this origin, you'll be able to control and also spawn space storms, and you should get a lot more benefits from being able to use space storms in game and actually be able to actually shoot out space storms to your enemies and give them negative effects as well. And next up, we have Treasure Hunters. Treasure Hunters seems to be a more story-focused origin, which I always love. I always love the story-focused origins from Paradox and when they make them, so props to them on that. And with Treasure Hunters, for the most part, when I looked at it, it's a story-based origin of you finding a map and mainly trying to hunt down some treasure, hence the origin name. And then finally we have Primal Calling, which this I guess is more this is like a more advanced version of Fruitful Partnership. And with Primal Calling, you'll be able to mainly become kind of Beastmasters, which we're going to get into the actual word Beastmasters, how actually used here in a minute. But with it, Primal Calling is like mainly you be able to use and actually weaponize space fauna and be able to get and also get research, and also you don't have to just weaponize and actually use space fauna against other people. You actually use it for a different other means, but mainly it's a space fauna focused empire. So if you want that, that is the origin to choose. The next thing I want to talk about now is the civics that were also the new civics that were getting added to the game from Grand Archive and also from Cosmic Storms. So let's see what they look like. And with the new DLCs coming, like I said before, we're getting a whole new batch of civics. Now with the civics, we have Beastmasters, we have Galactic Curators, and we have Astral Meteorology. I'm pretty sure I butchered the ever-living hell out of that, but yes. So with Galactic Curators, that is maybe if you want to fill up your Grand Archive and maybe do that role of mainly documenting your galactic history with the space fauna, with the relics and everything like that. That's mainly that role playing style that you have there. Beastmasters is kind of similar to what I said with Grand Archive. With the Grand Archive, you have all that stuff, but with Beastmasters, that is a more hard focus with the, like I said before, with space fauna builds. Like if you want to have build a fleet mainly of a space fauna, I feel like if I was there, I can mainly think of like a hive mind empire that like really gels with the space fauna, kind of has that interconnection. You guys know, like I'm talking about, they're connected to like life or whatnot, and they have that connection because since they're hive-minded, kind of like a tree of life thing that you guys see there. Like the tree's connected to everything, kind of like Pandora from Avatar. And I do not like that movie. I can't believe I just referenced that. But yeah, it's kind of like that, and where you instead of having starting out with Corvettes, you start off with space amoebas as your defense instead of the 3 Corvette classes that you start out with. Now the last one is the astrometeorology, and that is for Storm Riders, and that is mainly this is study for the space storms and be able to get more research and all stuff out of that. So those are the 3 new civics, or probably more, but those are 3 main new civics that are coming to that are in the game right now from the Grand Archive and Galactic Storms. Now the last main thing I want to talk about that we're getting from this DLC are the space fauna. And right now we're getting 2 new hostile space fauna, and that is from the Cthulhuids and the Voidworm. Cthulhuids are a new type of space fauna that will hide in the asteroids and will ambush your ships, your science ships and construction ships, and also hinder that progression right there. And then Voidworms, which I really, really love, let you guys know right now, are also a mid-game crisis, along with, if you guys didn't know, Cosmic Storms are also considered a mid-game crisis. But with the Cthulhuids, with the Voidworms are something interesting, because then later on, as they progress through the mid-game crisis, then we have the Voidworm Plague. I don't want to go into too much detail with it because I love you guys to just go and play it and experience it yourself and not really tell you guys what happened. But I am super excited. Mid-game is getting more and more flavor. I feel like a lot of stuff is pushed to late game, so I'm excited to see that mid game is getting some more stuff that gives us a little buffer that we have, so we're not just sitting there waiting for the end game crisis or a war in heaven to happen later on. So I'm excited to see all these things getting added to Stellaris. I'm excited for where the console generation is heading when it comes to Stellaris and the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And I just hope you guys enjoy this. It was fun talking about this with you guys. If you guys want more, kind of like when DLCs come out and just like briefly talk about it, give a little bit of an overview, please let me know. I enjoy making stuff like this, and guys, have fun. Make the galaxy you want to make. Peace.